Okay, we're gonna be filming my March bullet journal setup. It is currently June, so I am so far behind on uploading these next few months bullet journals, and so you'll see me wearing the same outfit because I'll be doing all of that today, and it's just a matter of getting them uploaded, and that's fine. But I actually think March was one of my more colorful attempts at decorating a bullet journal, but it was also my least used. I don't know what happened in March. I just don't think I had much going on. So it's pretty bare and blank, and I really didn't use it for all of that, but you'll get to get into that. So I definitely did not put much effort into March, but that's okay because I still got it in my journal and it's still there, and I definitely upgrade my layout of everything a little later in the months to something that's more suited to what I wanted to do, but you'll see that. So let's get into the video. Okay, let's get into our March bullet journal. I am definitely uploading this video in May, so it's been 2 months, but it's better late than never to get this uploaded. This was definitely one of my first few designs, trying to figure out how I wanted my bullet journals to look, but it still works, and I have definitely noticed that as I make a better bullet journal layout, the more I actually use my bullet journal. So I think March was probably my least used so far. It's also my least decorative, despite having more colors in this one than my later versions of bullet journals. I definitely use this one a lot less. I definitely have a long setup, as I already made an outline of what I want my bullet journal to look like, so now you're just seeing me erasing all my faint pencil marks and then writing in all of what I want it to actually be in color. I decided to use a lot of color because it was March and I was like springtime, but the colors are kind of nice. But when I look back at it, this was a very, very messy attempt at a journal setup. But on the left side, I have what made me smile this month. I definitely like having that, so that way I can look back every time something made me happy that month, and then I can just write it in there, and it makes me just feel a little more elated. This makes me remember all the good things that have happened for me. The next box says self-reminders, and then the third box just says quick notes and tasks. So now the calendar aspect is probably one of my favorite pages, and I'll get into that in a minute. But the one thing I want to note is that it is very important that when you make this bullet journal, you are making it for you. You aren't crafting it for other people to see. You aren't making it to be aesthetic just to be aesthetic. Like, if you like that style, make that your style. I definitely prefer color, and so I like adding a lot of color. But my main reason for wanting this bullet journal was because I wanted a place to write all of the activities and events that I would be doing that month. I want to have a full calendar, so this page is definitely my favorite to customize. And one of the favorite things that I love about my calendar is that I have found a way to incorporate my daily habits. I know that I had a really hard time with keeping up with the traditional daily habits page. Like, making a full page out of your daily habits is definitely not for me because I just don't want to. It was just too time consuming to write the styles that I had seen. I don't want to make a little tiny calendar for every daily habit that I want to do. I didn't want to make an entire page just full of lines and then my daily habits. But I have found that this is a version that works for me, and I found that by playing around with my bullet journal setup and making it be the way I want it to be. And so basically, I have on the corner a color coordinator next to whatever it is that daily habit is, and then during my month, on the day, on the first line, I just make a bunch of vertical lines, and then I'll just fill out whatever color I need to indicate I did that activity for the day. And this actually shows a really good image of what that should look like. So I am definitely behind when making my March journal, and I'm behind on uploading this journal video, but I have it here, and this gives you a really good idea of what filling out the colors would look like. Then we get into the next page, and this is going to be my weekly setup. This one's also very simple. This is one of my beginning, trying to figure out how I like it. On the first page, I divide it into 7 boxes for each day of the week. On the next page, I have my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't have trouble with eating. I just want to keep track of what it is that I am eating, so that way I can kind of see like what it is that I'm putting in my diet, because I do want to try and add some more vegetables and stuff. And then I have my focus. I usually just give myself a quote or just a general thing to remind myself of. I actually forgot I did this, so I might incorporate that into my next week's journal setup. But then I have my to-do list, and then I have my reading code, log, and then my weekly review. Anyways, and that is it. It was a very small week. I actually used this week a lot less than my other ones. I think it was just my least liked month setup. I definitely enjoyed the other setups to come, rather than throwing a bunch of color all at once, because my mood changes every week, every day, sometimes every hour. And video of my cat. My cats were definitely around the table a lot during this video. Okay. That's the end of the March bullet journal setup. It's very important to note that when you're making a bullet journal, the bullet journal is for you and your needs and whatever it is that you feel you want to keep track of. And so even though I have a very similar setup throughout the next few months, there's always little tweaks that I make. And it's always important to try to find the one style or the multiple styles that work for you. I have definitely used a little less color as I get more into the months, but I think that was allowing me to make it look a little more professional in my eyes. And then I just go ahead and add color in later. A really big thing that I do is just add color in throughout the month whenever I feel like it fits. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you make your next bullet journal not as late as I did. Anyways, bye!